Hey everybody, so I am going to take this ragamuffin situation into a glamorous 1940s siren of a babe because I need it. So if you're interested in seeing me get that 1940s kind of wave and a super glamorous makeup look with lashes and lipstick, hang out. Okay, I got my 40s music on. I don't know if you can hear it because I'm mic'd up. So before I even jump into this, I just want to say I have like all my containers of makeup sitting on my vanity, and I have literally not done my own hair and makeup in this fashion in easily 8 or 9 months. So I was like picking through all the things that I needed, and a giant fucking spider came out. Because that's how long it's been since I've done my makeup. So I'm really excited. I am going to get super glamorous, super dressed up to feel good about myself because I've been staring at Instagram and it just makes you feel like shit sometimes. And the other day I posted a video or story and I looked back at it and I was like, oh my God, you need a little bit of fun time for yourself. Take care of yourself. So I wanted to get dolled up and play dress up for a night. So here I am doing it. I'm gonna have a martini afterwards with my husband. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So do my hair first. So my hair in quarantine, last time I got my hair cut was maybe a month or maybe 2 months before we shut down. So it's very long and my bangs have grown out. So to get started, this is day old hair. I washed it yesterday. I'm just gonna run a brush through it. And I'm just planning on doing a super glamorous 1940s style wave. So that means I'm gonna need like a good like medium-sized iron to get like nice curls. Because my hair is so long, I need to use, a small-ish iron. I'm using this one. I think it's 1 1/4, maybe 1 1/2. I think it's 1 1/4 though. And I think this is a good size for me because for the length of my hair, I think it's gonna work really well. I want them to be somewhat tighter weight curls. I don't really want like a wave. So if I wanted a wave, I'd use a bigger iron, right? So there you go. So to start, because it's day old and I get really greasy, I'm just gonna do a little bit of like dry shampoo. This is just the IGK Jet Lag. And I'm just gonna hit my roots. I have to like warm everything up because nothing's been used in a really long time. I'll be checking the expiration dates as I go. Next, I wanna establish where my part's gonna be. So because this is kind of like a very specific style, I want to do like a pretty decent side part, right? So if you don't have one of these combs, these like teething combs, they're the best. Okay, so got my side part going. Now what I like to do is I like to set my hair and then do my makeup so my hair has time to cool in that shape, and then I can come back to it, pull it down, brush it out, and finish it. So that's what we're going to do today. That being said, I'm just gonna start, I'm probably gonna do it in 2 sections. So I'm probably gonna do like a top section and then I'm gonna curl the bottom section. So I'm just gonna jump right in and do it. I'll show you the first couple and then I'll probably speed through the rest. So I'm just gonna take a little chunk of hair. Cool. Ugh. I don't really have any other product in my hair, but I think it's okay. I'm not really worried about it. So I'm curling, just kind of curling it straight down. Because I want to get that like super voluminous like curl, that 1940s bouncy curl. Oh, and this is like a very hot iron. So notice how I'm kind of keeping the shape, and I'm going to grab one of these little clippy-doos. Okay. You could use bobby pins, I guess, but they're really not very easy to use for this purpose. So I would just buy these little clips. They're like really cheap, and clip it at the bottom. And that's that. So I'm gonna do that all around the rest of my head. Probably speed through this process, but I'll keep it on for you so you can watch. Can you tell it's been a really long time since I've done my hair? I swear I'm a professional. Okay, now that I'm at this front face framing piece, there's a couple different ways you can go about this, right? It kind of depends on what style you plan to do. If I'm doing this Veronica Lake-esque, it kind of like swoops down like that. So I kind of want to roll it forward. But if I wanted to do like a fun little roll or something, I'd want to roll it backwards. So I don't know. I am gonna have to cook dinner after this. So I think what I'm gonna do is roll it backwards, and I'll show you how to do a fun little victory roll kind of a deal. So I'm gonna scoop it forward and I'm gonna roll it away from my face. It's a little bit different than what I've been doing with the other pieces. Ooh. And it's not all one length, obviously, as you can tell, so it's taking my time with it. The other thing about this, like a 1940s or like more vintage hairstyle, is you actually curl the ends of the hair, whereas now it's not really like a thing. I don't really want to curl the ends of the hair because it just looks too styled, too done, right? Everybody wants that messy undone thing, which is usually my jam, but every once in a while it's kind of fun to get something very structured and specific like this. It's kind of feels like a costume. And it's almost Halloween, so why not? And it's almost my birthday, which happens to fall on election night, which is not so fun. So I'm gonna do this with a spritz of hairspray. This is just a medium spray from Kenra. And then I'm gonna finish the bottom of the hair. So I'll be back. Okay, my hair is set. So you see how it's all just pinned up. I just re-clipped this. Okay, but I just set it with a little bit of hairspray. I might set it with a little bit more in the back actually, because it fell. We're just gonna leave him, okay? So that's that. If I was going to an event where I had to be picture perfect for hours, you know, if I needed this to last all day, I probably would have put in like a mousse or some sort of product to give my hair a little more grit, because my hair is super fine and slippery, so it doesn't really hold very well. That's why doing a set is really important for me. But again, if I had to make it last all day, I would have put in something else to give a little extra grit to it so it really would last all day. But I'm just home, so I have nowhere to be. I don't have to make this last for days, so hairspray's fine. So we're gonna move on to makeup while this is chillin'. We're gonna let that cool, and then we'll pull it out and I'll show you what to do next. To get started, my skin is just my normal skincare routine, and then I'm just gonna prep. So I'm a big fan of primers, and I'm a big fan of Atelier primer, okay? If you haven't tried this yet, please do. It's the best, and it's owned by an amazing woman. She's an incredible makeup artist and incredibly supportive of other artists and small businesses, and you should check her out. Small business support. So I really do enjoy her face primer, which I'll be using, but I also really enjoy her eye primer. So I'm gonna make sure that I apply that, and I love the applicator tip too. So I'm just gonna sweep this across my eye. And I typically do eyes first. It's just a little bit cleaner, especially when I'm gonna have a little more drama like I will today. Nothing too crazy. And I have not pre-planned this look. So you're signed up for the whole ride, people. We're gonna make it up as we go. Okay, so I just put this all over. I always like to lock in my primer with a little bit of like just a translucent powder. It's just what I do. You don't have to. You can just go straight in with your eyeshadow if you want. Next, I'm gonna go in with some eyeshadows. So because this is the 1940s, I am generally going to keep it a little more matte. I might actually use a lot of this Victoria Beckham Tuxedo palette because it's a lot of these like neutral tones. I might warm them up a little bit because I prefer a warmer tone. But I think to start, I'm just gonna take this same brush and dip it into this pale Blanc, the white color. It's not too far off from my actual lid color. I'm just gonna sweep that across. And I'm very excited to put lashes on because I haven't worn eyelashes and I literally don't even remember the last time I put eyelashes on, so that should be, it might be comical to watch me do that. Okay, and then I'm gonna use this different brush. I'm gonna use something a little bit tighter. So this is a lot looser, see, a little bit tighter. And I'm gonna go into, I'm gonna use a different color. You know what I always use as an eyeshadow color is my Charlotte Tilbury like highlight contour palette. I always use this for eyeshadow. I just think it's such a pretty color. It's really soft. So we're gonna start with this, and if it's not enough, I will amp it up. So I'm gonna start, I always visualize where I want my product to end, where I want it to land essentially. I want it to land right here. I like to bring my crease up a little bit because my eyes are slightly hooded. So I'm gonna bring it right here. You know, this isn't enough. So I'm actually gonna mix it with the Victoria Beckham brown because I can make my own rules. So I'm just gonna pop it right in here. Oh, much better. And then I like to do a little V action, so draw it down and then across. Okay, going back in with my fluffier brush, and I'm just gonna soften any harsh edges. Just kind of blend it out. Actually, using the same fluffy brush, I'm gonna go back in with the Charlotte Tilbury because it is so soft, and I'm just gonna like mix it, like blend it into the edges, including up on the brow bone. So I don't want that brow bone to be super bright. It's just not what I want. Next, I'm gonna work on my liner. I know, I'm speeding right through this, right? So, good rule of thumb, I think, for cat eyes is to go in with an eyeshadow or a pencil first, whatever's easier. So I'm gonna go in with this black eyeshadow in this Victoria Beckham palette with an angle hair brush. And I'm just gonna pre-trace where I want my liquid liner to go. So this way, if I make a mistake, it's easy to fix. Liquid liner can be frustrating, right? Ooh, makeup is so fun. I forgot how fun it could be. So my eyes definitely are a little more hooded, right? And you see, this eye is a little more than that eye. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to keep this eyeliner a little bit thinner and make this one a little bit thicker to give the illusion that my eyes are the same but they look the same. So actually, before I go in with my liquid liner, what I like to do is I like to tight line my upper lash line because it just makes the lashes look a little bit fuller, and it kind of just makes this look super clean and crisp, which I love. So I'm just gonna go in with a little black liner. You can see that, right? Such a difference. Let me do the same. I mean, it just makes me look like I have eyelashes all of a sudden, right? So that's a miracle. Let's do a little liquid. What now? So sometimes, sometimes what I like to do is actually go over this again with powder, like a black eyeshadow. Sometimes to take the shine down. And also I need to curl my lashes so I don't want it to stick too much. But I kind of prefer a more matte looking cat eye. That's why I actually used to use gel liners all the time when I would do a cat eye. I'm sorry, and I think my eyes are a little boring, so I'm gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Exciting Eyes palette. I don't know what this, I don't think it's called it's the Icon palette. I just think it's exciting because it's got lots of glittery things in there. So I'm gonna go in with two, kind of like a rose gold. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with a flat brush to do, you know what? I'm changing this up. Going in with this guy and this guy. Ooh, I'm already feeling this more, you can tell, you know? It's kind of like when you work with clients and you do like one little adjustment and they're like, oh my God, and you just see like their whole expression change. That just happened to me. I felt it. I felt the shift. Sometimes it's just one little tweak to make you feel good. Look at that, I feel so good already. I added this pinky reddy, like maroon kind of tone, which really works well for my eyes because they're kind of like a bluey green. So it just really makes them pop. Oh yeah, I'm liking this so much more. So, on to the next. I'll just put them on. I'll just do the eyelashes. I think I'm gonna do a little mascara first. So I'm gonna use the end of this duo mascara. I'm gonna do the bottoms a little bit later. I like to do like under liner and all that stuff after my foundation because it's just, I don't know, it's just how I work. Okay, eyelashes. So doing a more 40s vibe, right? So you need a bigger lash. You just gotta go big. You just need a bigger lash. So I have to find them. I just put them out too. I put all this stuff out and now it's just a huge mess. Oh, I found them. Okay. I was thinking these. Okay, like a big feathery lash. Let's put some lashes on. This might be really funny. It's been a really long time. We shall see. It'll look better when I have eyebrows. So we're just gonna roll with it. They're a little bigger than I was planning. I mean, maybe they look fine. It's funny, I'm just so accustomed to soft and natural that it's always like, whenever I do something a little more costumey like this. So I'm gonna roll with it. Next up, I'm gonna wipe my hands off and then we are going to work on the skin. So before I start, I always like to use my Atelier face primer. It's great on all skin types, but I especially like it because it feels a little more hydrating. So if I need a little extra moisture, a little extra love, this kind of does it for me. Ooh, I'm gonna put it all over. Oh yes. What order do you guys usually do your makeup? I'm always curious because I feel like everybody works in their own way. Like I always do my eyes, then I do my face, and then I do my brows, then I do my lips. Just how I do it all the time. It just makes sense to me. I don't know why. It just works. So that's what we're gonna do today. And before I jump in, so I am gonna use like a little sponge. I think this is Real Techniques. It's wet, but I'm gonna dive in with my Hollywood Flawless filter because it's Hollywood night here at my house. Haven't guessed. And I like to do this underneath foundation or underneath my concealer. So I like to hit it around the under eyes and like my cheekbones. Because it has like a nice luminous finish. It's kind of like a highlighter and foundation in one. See how it gets that beautiful bounce from the light? Ah, it's just gorgeous. I love this stuff. I mean, I was literally living off of this stuff for the last 2 years because I just fell in love with it and I was like, I don't need foundation, I just need this. I just do this with a little bit of concealer under my eyes and call it a day. Now I just don't do anything. So, see how it's given me this instant glow? So next I'm gonna go in with, I actually have this Pat McGrath, her Skin Fetish foundation because it's a heavier it's buildable, which I like. So, but I can get like that heavier coverage that I'm looking for in certain areas. So I like to use this brush from my Kitco. It's my favorite. What is this, number 14? I just love using this for my skin. And I'm gonna kind of start where I might need it the most, which is gonna be around here. There's a lot of natural pink in there. There's a little blemish right there. And I always just kind of tap it in, and then I kind of move to like these little strokes once it's kind of on the skin. Just gently blending it in. I'm gonna stop there with that. Usually I do my whole face with this, but I kind of want to use the sponge because it just feels really good. I'm just gonna tap this in. Always want to like step away from what you're doing and just take a peek, because it looks different when you're like in it. You're so in it. It looks different when you step back. And I always love to just do the little hand trick. I just like to wear my hands and press it gently into the skin so it feels a little lived in, a little more real. I don't know. It just looks better, okay? I should know how to do these. I haven't had to talk about makeup in a really long time, so forgive me. Concealer. I'm going to use this Ilia concealer. It's a little pinkier toned, peachy. And I'm going to use that for underneath my eyes. I don't really need a ton because that foundation actually did a lot of the work for me. Okay, that works. I actually have some leftover foundation here, so on some spots that still have a lot of redness, like around here, I'm just going to hit it with this foundation, because a lot of times you can cover a lot with foundation. Even with something like this that's, like I said, it's a buildable coverage. So one pass sometimes isn't going to do it. Like sometimes you'll have a spot that's like, might need 2 or 3 passes, and that's fine. That's normal. I've got some redness, got some blemishes. And there's some things that are like, okay, I can put foundation on this all day long and it's not going to cut it, you know? Or you just need that color correction like my under eyes do, so. Okay, shape to the face. So a lot of times I just use like a lighter yellow-based concealer to kind of hit my nose. Sometimes I'll hit like the center of the forehead, and then if I have any like major baggage, sometimes I'll just tap a little bit here to bring that forward. And I think I'm gonna use this little. I want to contour a little bit. I want to give myself a little bit of sculpture. So I'm actually going to use this eye pencil from Nude Sticks. It's their taupe eye pencil because it kind of has this grayish shade. It's not too brown. It's just the best of what I've got on hand at this point. So, ooh, honey. Let's hit the jawline too. So she has a little bit of shape to her, y'all. Okay, just a little bit. I always love a cream blush, so I'm going to go with this Milk Clean Cream Blush. This is Work. I always hit the apples. I like to tap this in with my fingers. Doing things with your hands really helps everything to like melt into the skin a little bit more, so it softens everything up and it looks a little less polished, which is really a little less polished, which is what I prefer. I don't want to look like a perfectly sculpted, painted statue. It's just that to me is not attractive or really, like, I don't look at that and think, oh my god, that's so beautiful. Like, I can acknowledge the work that gets put into it, and I can acknowledge that it's well done and that it can look beautiful, but I personally don't feel beautiful when I am sculpted to the nines. I prefer to see a little skin. I like to see a little, you know, a little reality, a little grit, you know? So, that's my cheek. I might do more, I don't know. Oh, you know what we need to do? Okay, so I'm gonna powder myself a little bit. I always generally use a smaller brush. And I'm gonna use this Honest Beauty setting powder. this underneath the eyes because that always creases. So I'll prevent that. It's like magic. And then I'm just gonna press it into some spots. Usually down the center of my face. Sure. So now we're gonna do, I think I need to add a little more color to my face. So I wanna hit it with a little bit of bronzer. And then we're gonna do brows. I'm gonna open my door. It might be loud though. My husband's practicing. I'm probably gonna regret this later, but I'm really warm. There's a radiator in here and it's like raging. So I'm gonna use this beautiful Kosas in light. I'm gonna start with the light. I might go into the medium, but I'm gonna use a little. Just a little bit. Beautiful. Next, let's do some brows. So I am gonna go a little bit bigger on my brows because got all that going on. So I need to do a little bit more on my brows. I might do a mixture of things. I'm gonna start with a little bit of the Glossier Boy Brow in brown. Okay, so I might fill in a couple little spots using the Glossier, what is this? The Brow Flick situation. So with any type of brow product, especially with something like this, really I'm barely touching my skin. Just like quick little strokes. Okay, you do not want to see like a full drawn situation. I will say this, all good things take time. Oh yeah, I want to do a little underliner. I do want to add a little bit of highlighter because I have this here and it's really pretty. So I'm gonna go in with my lips. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to do the Lisa Eldridge Velvet Ribbon because how could I not? It's the most beautiful lipstick on the planet. Look at that. It's this gorgeous blue. Oh, I just love it. I just love it, I love it, I love it. I don't have a super great red liner right now. So I'm just gonna have to use, okay, I have a Makeup Forever one. Let's try this. It's pretty red. So, a couple different ways you can do lip liner, by the way. You can do it beforehand or you can do it after. Sometimes I do both. I was going with the lipstick. I'm gonna try to do it without a brush if possible. Oh my God, I feel like a lady. Okay, I love it, I love it, I love it. So let's address this hair. I'm gonna shut the door now. I cooled off. So we're gonna take this guy out because he's just dying to get out of here. I'm just gonna unclip my little doodads. Okay, kind of miss looking pretty, feeling pretty. But, I mean, you know, feeling glamorous, I should say. This is gonna be in the way, so I'm gonna move it down. My hair's really long now. So what I am gonna do is I do wanna hit this with a little bit of hairspray because I don't have a lot of hold products in there. I'm just gonna hit, whew, can't believe how long my hair is. And then I'm gonna take like this big brush and just soften up, move this down a little bit, these curls. I might actually spray the brush with it. Oh my God. You saw how long this took me. Well, actually you didn't because I edited this, but it's taking me a long time. It's taking me longer than I would ever want to take on a daily basis. But man, okay, so to go ahead and use a little bit of the Huay pomade because I'm just taking like the tiniest little amount, and I want to make this like stay back here. And kind of take whatever's left over in my hands to take throughout the ends. And you kind of like just keep messing with it until it does what you want it to do. I could tease this up here, but I like it softer. I don't really need it to be super big or anything. That's what she said. I actually kind of like how this has done this little loop-de-doo. So I'm just gonna hit this pomade a little bit right at the part so it's nice and clean. And I'm just gonna leave this. I'm gonna put a little product in there to kind of hold it and rub it through here. Oh yeah, see, now it just did what I wanted it to do. Oh my God. I'm beautiful. Like that scene from Amy Schumer's movie. And I feel pretty. That's literally how I feel. Oh, so there you go. It's why we don't do this. I mean, you know, I know why we don't do this because it takes a long time, but my goodness, why we don't style ourselves like this anymore? I don't know, because it's so chic. Okay. There you go. Oh, you know, I need a little more color on my face. I'm gonna add a little more bronzer, but ultimately, this is it. I feel good. And now I feel less crappy when I look on Instagram at other people that look like this, because now I get it. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm gonna try to put all the products in that I used and link them up so you can buy them and try them, or if you just wanna look at them. And I do offer online classes, by the way, that are a lot of fun, group classes that you can purchase through my website, or you can book your own group session with a group of friends and family members or coworkers or whoever you want to do it with. There's some skin stuff, there's eye classes, there's foundation classes. If you want something a little more specific, or if you want to do like a 1940s makeup class, I'm totally open to doing something like that. So just hit me up, email me, jen@jenbrownmakeup.com, or visit my website, jenbrownmakeup.com. And I hope to hear from you guys soon. Have a beautiful evening.